Hello, everybody, and welcome to your practice. For this class, you're going to need a couple of blocks, but I do suggest if you're feeling a little bit on the tight side that, you can always layer that up and have some extra blocks or some blankets or pillows if you need to. If you're feeling a little chilled at all, feel free to put on some socks or even layer up with a sweater. And as we start our practice and really dive in, for those of you that do wear glasses, I invite you to take them off and to see if you can keep your eyes closed as much as possible throughout your practice. This is really important because it really helps you to tune inward, where when the eyes are open, even if we're not looking at anything specific, there's still a lot of stimulus happening there, and a lot of engagement that ends up happening with the mind. So when we can take the glasses off and we can keep the eyes closed, then we can just really sink into our practice. Okay. So we're going to begin with a little bit of neck release. I also have had some requests to do some hand work. So we're going to do a little bit of release for the fingers, the palms, and the wrists. So for those of you that text and type a lot, you'll appreciate this. So I invite you to come up into a seated position. If you want to sit up on a block or even two blocks, whatever you need to feel like you can lengthen up through your spine with some ease, okay? And your hands will rest on your lap. You're going to turn your palms to face upwards and let your shoulders actually creep right up into your ears for just a moment. And I want you to feel where you might be holding. Like for some people, it might be between the shoulder blades. Maybe for some of you, it's the sides of the neck, or it's even like the tops of your shoulder ridges. Take a big breath in here. And then as you exhale, just let your shoulders drop. And take another deep breath and just feel into your back body. And then we'll do that again. So draw the shoulders right up. Squeeze, 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 right up into your earlobes. And then exhale, just let your shoulders drop. And take another deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And then one more time. Draw the shoulders all the way up. Feel yourself really squeeze in here. Notice where you're holding tension. Exhale, just let it all soften. Let your arms relax. Let your palms still face up. Sitting up nice and tall. And then allow the bottom jawline to soften a little bit, creating a hollow layer of space between the upper and lower molars inside your mouth. Letting the tongue relax as well. And allow your chin to slightly tilt down towards your chest. It doesn't have to be a full tilt. Just go to where you can go until you start to feel like there's a stretch happening in the back of the neck, and then back out just a tiny bit from there. Maintain a nice long rest of your spine from the top of your shoulders to your sacrum. And allow your chin to rotate over towards the right. And then bring your chin back to center. And sweep the chin over towards the left. Keeping the jaw really soft here. Chin back to center. Sweep over to the right. back to center. And then all the way to the left. Just notice what your range of motion is like. Bring the chin back to center. Pause here and see, without force, does the chin want to drop a little bit further down, or is it okay where it is? So wherever your chin lands, stay there. Keep the rest of your spine soft, shoulders drawn down and back, and take 3 really deep, luxurious breaths. Notice any resistance you might feel in the back of your neck. And then as you take your next inhale, you're going to sweep your chin back over towards the right. And then make a little bit of movement here, however that feels good for you. Maybe it's just bringing the chin sort of up a little bit and then back down. Maybe you're making little circles with your chin. It actually doesn't matter what movement you're doing, but find something to see if you can land in another nice spot where things feel a little bit tight. And then when you find that spot, just stay there. As long as there's no sharp or shooting sensation, it just feels like an elastic band that's being stretched out. Can you pause there? Again, jaw soft, face relaxed as you breathe deeply. One more breath. Your next inhale, your chin will come back to center. And then slowly bring the chin over towards the left this time. And find a little bit of movement. Doesn't have to look anything the same as the other side. Find a sweet spot. So a sweet spot is where you move your neck and you're like, oh yeah, there's the tension. And then can you pause there as you breathe fully and deeply into your body? One more full breath. Roll the chin back to center. And take one hand, just place it right underneath your chin. And it's almost like your hand is like a lever. You're going to use your hand to lift your chin back up. So you're not using any of the muscles in your neck. And then relax your hand. Let your chin be in line with the rest of your chest. Spine really long. Take a full deep breath in and out through your nose. And then just shrug the shoulders a little bit. Just up and down, up and down. You can even make some circles or forwards and back, or just lift them up and down and up and down. Just make a little bit of movement there. Maybe even shake out your head a little bit. Doesn't matter what it looks like. and then come back to center. And then this time we're going to work with the hands. So this is always fun to work with, especially for those of you that use your hands a lot. You may open your eyes to take a peek, but if you can keep your eyes closed, just see if you can follow along with my cues. You're going to extend your right arm out from your right shoulder and your palm is facing up. So it's almost like you're holding a platter in your right hand. Okay. As the palm faces up, you're going to take your left hand and you're going to take a hold of your right thumb with your fingers. So I usually use like the index and second finger and the thumb, and you're kind of just going to wrap around your thumb joint. And I do mean very gently here when you're working with your finger joints, you're going to gently pull it down and back towards you. So if you're very tight in your forearms and your wrists, you're going to feel a sensation up through the forearm, the inner forearm mostly, and of course through the thumb joint. And then gently release that. And then take your fingers and wrap them around your index finger. And at the base of the joint, just gently pull the finger back towards you again. Now this one can be a little less sensational through the forearm, but you might feel it more through the finger itself. And then gently bring it back up. And then go to the second finger, and it's the same thing. You're going to gently pull it back. Don't try to pull too harshly here. You want to keep your elbow softly bent so you're not locking in that joint. And then release. Go to the ring finger. Gently draw that back. And release. And then finally the baby finger. Gently draw that back. Just being mindful of what you think your range of motion is like in your fingers. So for most of us, the index and second finger and thumb tend to be the tightest. And then release. Just let your hands rest in your lap for a moment. And with eyes closed, can you feel any kind of subtle difference between your hands? Could be a little tingle, a little warmth, maybe a little bit of a sensation of freedom. It wasn't a long stretch, but you can do this anytime your hands are feeling tight or your wrists. And now extend your left arm out, palm facing up, fingers spread wide like you're holding that platter again. And then take your right finger and thumb and see if you can wrap around your left thumb joint and gently pull it back. Keeping that elbow soft. Breathing deep. And release. Go to the index finger. Same thing. Just gently draw it back. And release. Second finger. Again, just gently pulling back, being mindful of what your range of motion is like. Just really more from a curiosity perspective. And release. Let's go to the ring finger. Slowly pulling it back. Again, we're being really soft here. Notice if your shoulders are trying to creep up to your ears, let them relax. Release the finger, and then last one, baby finger, gently draw it back. And then release. Once again, let the hands rest in the lap. Palms face up, fingers soft. Just notice any sensation. And then just start to circle out your wrists. Doesn't matter which direction you're going in, but just be mindful of which way you are, because eventually we'll switch. And then opposite way, let the fingers be really soft. Just really focus on moving the wrist joint itself. And then just flicker out your fingers. Almost like you're trying to, if your fingertips were wet, you're trying to almost like shake the water off. Just 3 more times. And then relax your hands. This time, palms facing down on your thighs. And now let's uncross the legs and take them out for just a moment. Just give your legs a little bit of a shake before we come back into a cross-legged position. Just let the blood kind of move back through. And then whatever leg you had in front, switch that out the opposite way so that you're just evening out your hips a little bit here. And once again, you're sitting up nice and tall. This time you're going to take your right arm out from your right shoulder and turn your palm back away from you and drape your forearm on towards your low back as you come into a half graceful bow. So the inner palm will be facing outwards. Your fingers are spread wide. Shoulders drawn away from the ears. Soften out your jaw. Your whole face, actually. And start to breathe down through the right side of your chest, your shoulder, your arm. Again, notice the hinge of the jaw, especially for those of you that are right-handed and are very dominant on your right side. Let the shoulder release a little bit more. And even though your fingers are spread wide, can you soften in through them a little bit? And you're welcome to stay as you are. If you want to work a little bit deeper through the right side of your neck, you can start to drop your chin back down towards your chest and then sweep that chin over towards the left again and find that sweet spot, which will probably be a little bit more magnified because we've got the right arm back behind us. So you're welcome to play with that. If that doesn't resonate, just allow your chin to stay back in line with your chest. Feel the sensation of breath moving in through your hand, all the way up through your arm, over the top of your shoulder, down into your chest. And for many of you, probably the upper back as well. If you hold a lot of your tension or stress in your upper back, or if you tend to be someone who likes to control situations, can be holding a lot of that control energy up through the back body, through the gallbladder meridian channel. You're also welcome. For those of you that do want to go a little deeper, that hand that's back behind you, instead of the elbow and wrist being in a straight alignment, you might walk your hand up a little bit higher. So then your arm would be on a slight angle, but this does intensify the sensation quite significantly. So proceed with caution there, especially if you're very tight in your upper body. Take one more deep breath in and out through your nose. And if your chin has rotated to the left, bring your chin back to chest line and then slowly release your right hand out. Let the hand rest on the lap with the palm facing up so that your shoulder and arm relax. Let the blood flow back down through the arm. Let the energy flow back down. Breathe fully here. Just noticing anything at all. And then gently extend your left arm out this time. Turn your palm away and place your forearm on towards your low back. Your palm facing out. Fingers spread wide but soft. Left shoulder drawn down. As you settle in here, allowing yourself to begin exploring your breath. Fully breathing in and fully breathing out. If you like, feel free to draw your chin back down and then perhaps sweeping the chin over towards the right. Just a few more deep breaths. Take in one more full round of breath. And then allow the arm to release. Place it on towards your thigh, both palms facing up. Pausing here, just letting your body rebound. And if you have time today, I invite you to stay here. Spend a little bit more time just tuning inwards until you feel like your practice is complete. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat. Namaste.